Update of previous post posted by you/make it so cute it was just a kiss. How trustworthy is she after that? TL, wife claims she only kissed an ex-boyfriend. Is anything trustworthy about her anymore? My wife of 13 years went on a weekend road trip to another city. Staying indoors for the length of the pandemic has been hard on our family. We have a 6-year-old. We went to a log cabin in February, but given my work commitments I decided not to book another trip so soon, so she wanted to go get out of the house by herself. On the agenda for her trip, she planned to meet a friend, who she dated in high school, but I thought nothing of this because I came to know him too, did not think they had anything going on anymore. We have met this person at social events a handful of times. During our marriage, when she came back, she acted strangely. She was very uncomfortable with my physical touch. Later that night, she told me that she kissed someone in this other city. I asked if it was the ex-BF and she said yes. This was devastating for me because it broke the trust in our relationship. The next day she told me that I need to accept we are getting a divorce. She went completely cold. She told me things like, the last time we had sex I felt nothing. She said her feelings for me were dying for a long time, but on her road trip she had an epiphany and they are completely dead. She even went on a long diatribe of all the personality quirks she hates of me. What I'm so shocked by is how a person's personality could abruptly change from love to extreme anger and hate. Just weeks earlier she would make nice compliments about how sexy I am. Untrustworthiness is the exact opposite of what I thought of her before this. Since coming back from that trip a little over a week ago her mood has improved to be polite, but she has pushed away all attempts at physical touch except for an occasional hug. This is weird since before the trip we often hugged and kissed each other. The story of what this kiss was changed several times. She said that it was brief and she stopped because she felt it was a mistake. In one version of the story it was at the beginning of the trip when they first met at a coffee shop. She said she was just so excited to see someone after being so isolated in the pandemic that she got wrapped up in the moment. That doesn't make sense to me because neither of them are fully vaccinated and she spent the whole last year being afraid of getting near anyone or even using a public restroom. In another version of the story the kiss was at the end of the trip before she left. Even before the pandemic, she struggled to be happy in our marriage. Certain negative events with our careers, money, and family health have been stressors. I could tell she's been depressed. I've had trouble giving her the intimacy she needs because I am struggling with extreme stress myself. What do you think is going on here? I'm trying to make sense of what she might be thinking. I am now doubting a lot of things I thought I knew about her and what we had together. We will get divorced, but if she ever wants to have an intimate relationship with me again, what is likely to be her motivation and how might that play out if I accept her into my life again? Let's see some comments before reading next update. Real Battle Axe 1944 comments. Dude, don't do the pick me dance. She is in an affair fog. The person you knew is gone. Sadly it's time to start over. OP replies affair fog. Never heard of this until now. It makes sense though because she came back from that trip a different person. Real Battle Axe 1944 comments. From what I can gather she left for the trip a different person. She made you her backup. Never give someone like her a second look. Life and relationships are what you make them. She gave up on you and your relationship and didn't have the courtesy to tell you. She owed you that before cheating on you. Move on. The only reason she might come back to you is because her plans didn't go through. Update 36M going through divorce, 1 kid. How do I bring up that topic on dates? I am in the process of going through a divorce after my wife cheated and initiated the separation. She will be moving out of the house, which I will get to keep, in 3 weeks. We have a 7-year-old girl. Divorce should be finalized in a month. I don't know how to smoothly bring this up if I'm on a date with someone new I meet. I feel stigmatized by this because I have a kid, and worried that I might be viewed by women as damaged goods. What do you think is the best way of telling my date of my current situation? I realize that my quality of life will get better with time, and right now might be a little soon to date again. However, I just happen to planning on going to spend some time at a brewery with a girl I met through a social group. It's not officially a date, but it could turn into one. I'm not sure when or how to navigate the topic of that I'm going through a divorce, and that my ex hasn't moved out of the house yet. Got any tips on how I can not let current crisis this define myself? Let's see few comments before reading update. Trippy Kid 42,069 comments. Maybe focus on building up yourself and spending time with your daughter might be the move before hitting the field. IKDK, how long ago you and your wife split up, but it might be good to chill. I don't think you're damaged goods. A lot of people go through what you went through and came out fine. But this is the type of thing that can crush people for good. Keep your head up and enjoy some time with your daughter before focusing on dating. Chief Master Flex comments, I'll second this sentiment. No need to rush into a rebound situation right now. Work on you and your relationship with your daughter. Once you get around to dating again, you can always ask your date, do you have any kids/children, in some form or fashion, which will usually trigger some form of a do you response, which opens that topic for discussion. Good luck, dude. Chin up, chest out, stay frosty. OP replies, that's a constructive suggestion. I think a few people who responded to my post didn't understand the context. I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to go on dates to find a new girlfriend. I certainly do want some time to work on other things in my life. But I do want to try being more social and doing activities where I get to meet new people, switch to being more of an extrovert than I've been. I am just trying to construct in my mind what and how I'm going to say it if a situation falls into place where I'm introducing myself and the topic of my divorce situation comes up in some way. This is a really tough thing to go through, uncharted territory for me, and I just don't know how to confidently talk about it. I guess I'd hoping to get a better general sense of how women would view a recently divorced guy with a kid so that I can be better prepared for whatever reactions I might receive. Update 50/50th custody parenting time calendar schedule. Recommendations? What works for you guys with co-parenting days? We have a 7-year-old girl. My wife is trying to push a 3-4-4-3 schedule onto me, but that's going to leave me without ever having a Friday or Saturday evening to myself. Could you tell me in your experience the pros/cons of various arrangements? About me, I have a flexible schedule as a software engineer. Most weekdays I work from home, with occasional days in the office for meetings. My ex-wife, she's a hospital nurse with an erratic schedule doing 12-hour shifts, including some on weekends. No telling what days the shifts will be, but they will probably be at least 3 days a week. My ex-wife just moved out of the house on Monday. I have our 7-year-old daughter this week. My wife was a lazy bum, so I'm used to being overworked with responsibilities, but it is a little different now because there is no other adult in the house or my life at all that I can count on for any sort of help. Every day, every minute is a full court press. I've been getting not enough rest. This morning I woke up feeling like crap, runny nose, and I can barely see out of my right eye from irritation. I'm really worried about my health. I have no one to depend on but myself. If my health goes down, I'm screwed. I've taken off a huge amount of PTO from work over the last 2 months because my ex-wife caused me so much stress and constant fires I had to deal with during this divorce. I've had to deal with impromptu demands, threats, her being disagreeable on parenting time, so I have to spend hours strategizing with the attorney. She's starting fights over stupid things like the value of furniture, and now that she's moved out is text bombing me trying to test my boundaries in modifying the agreed the child handoff times. Meanwhile, I work from home but my work piles up, I feel buried, and I worry about my employment. I feel so guilty taking off any more time to rest. I know I haven't been as productive as normal with my mind constantly distracted. With school out, there is not enough to keep my kid occupied during the day. I try to get her online activities, taekwondo, playing with the other kids in the neighborhood, but that's a constant challenge that drains my time and energy to manage. Today I'm feeling ill, like I have a cold, and I don't know what to do. Not sure if these snivels are seasonal allergies or COVID. I get panic attacks over this, especially at night. If I drop dead or have a medical emergency, nobody will know, and there's no one nearby I can call for help. Who's been in this mess before? What do you recommend I do today when I'm not feeling well and not sure whether I should take my kid to taekwondo because I'm slightly worried I'm sick? I can't afford to get sick and take a day off with all the things in motion right now. Let's see top comments before reading update. Doing this myself now. Comments sounds like my scenario. I'm an immigrant, so I don't have family here. I have 8 kids full-time and I have to work to support everyone. It fucking sucks. OP replies, I'm sorry for what you are going through. Jesus is a Jedi. Comment, I feel for you. I can't imagine trying to single parent without the help of my parents and siblings. Stay strong. Genucisa 1 comments, could it be COVID? Are you vaccinated? OP comments, both shots of Pfizer. But worried in that you can still get a mild case of COVID even with the vaccine. Given the stress I've been under, wouldn't be surprised if I got it. Gilda Kid comments, all I can say is you get used to it. I had to hire a babysitter when I was going into the office. I've been working from home since January. It's literally just me and the kids now 24/7. The first 3 to 4 months felt like a death sentence. Not because I don't love being with my kids, but because of no breaks from life and zero me time. But you do get accustomed to it. It's extremely hard, but definitely doable. Good luck, man. OP replies, yes, the non-stop press with no let-up is what's killing me. I woke up with a stuffy nose and felt somewhat angry about it because I don't need this crap right now. How did you find a babysitter? I don't know how to find someone I can trust. Update 4 months later. Update, I feel repulsed looking at our old photos. Hi everyone. I just want to thank you all for the support you've provided on this message board. The end of my marriage felt like getting hit by a bus, but some of you here got me to see this in different ways that made me get over it much sooner than I would have on my own. The links that were provided to me about narcissistic personality disorder were a game changer. I've found that not only do Dr. Ramani's videos explain so much about what I went through during the marriage, but the information about discard and hoovering were eerily predictive of what was to come. I've also spoken with several professionals who specialize in NPD, and they have helped me validate some of the feelings I've had during the marriage. I was emotionally abused for years, but could not see it because of the gaslighting and constant flipping between love bombing and devaluation. During the early divorce proceedings, she became incredibly nasty to deal with. She filed an inflammatory document in the court accusing me of financial crimes. The accusations were easily disproven, but that was a point of no return with me. I despise her for doing that. I can see her in no other way now other than an evil, selfish, toxic, nefarious actor who doesn't deserve a place in my life. I feel resentful for the 13 years of my life she's taken from me, and I feel appalled whenever I see any of our old photos together. It feels like I've been ripped off by a scammer, like a bottom-of-the-barrel identity thief. But on the bright side, I feel like I've quickly returned to being the person I once was. I feel so much more energy now that I no longer have to walk on eggshells. I've been getting out of the house and enjoying the downtown nightlife. I've been meeting new women, just having fun, and it's been exciting. My ex's affair was the best thing to happen to our marriage. When I made my first post here, I was devastated and in a dark place. I hope anyone else reading this can see that it gets better. For some in this situation, the crisis can bring a great opportunity to experience new things. Let's see some comments before reading last update. Serious reflection 759 comments. YouTube mental illness. He's diagnosed NPD and gives his perspective on the disorder. He's helped me so much, answered all my questions, and brought so much clarity. OP replies, what a good channel. Just watched his video he put out yesterday explaining why a narc hates you for what they originally found attractive about you. That is spot on with what I've experienced. One of her last days here in the house I asked my ex rhetorically, what did you even like about me to begin with? She then started listing off qualities like I'm a hard worker, I'm ambitious, determined. I grimaced. And then she stopped, realizing those are all the qualities she constantly criticized me for since it took away from her attention. Switchboard friend comments, you have been through some dark times and I'm really pleased that you posted this update. Now go and grab the world with both hands and dance with it for all it's worth. Sounds like you don't need encouraging though. Go and do it. Proud of you. Armor Teague 227 comments, but on the bright side, I feel like I've quickly returned to being the person I once was. I feel so much more energy now that I no longer have to walk on eggshells. I've been getting out of the house and enjoying the downtown nightlife. I've been meeting new women, just having fun, and it's been exciting. Cheers to you, my dude. Life goes on and you have a lifetime pass to endless possibilities. Proud to see that you found life after infidelity, brother. Go feast like a king. OP replies, I'm 36, no time to waste trying to satisfy a depressed, empty, downer spouse who cannot be pleased. Life's short. It's better spent having fun. Update I. 27M, found out that my high school sweetheart wife, 26F, slept with multiple men during our short, non-divorce, separation. My wife, Delilah, and I have been having issues for the past year. Mostly our personal issues, declining mental health, causing marital issues. We've been together for almost 10 years, married for 3, and things were amazing for the first 9. In April, we decided to separate for a few months so that we can work on our issues and to give her space to study for a big exam. Although we knew it was a possibility, we had no intentions on divorcing. We had just started marriage counseling. In mid-June, Delilah asked to cut off all contact with me, including counseling, while she studied for her big exam. I pushed back at first, desperately warning her that the distance would cause more issues, but finally agreed in support of her studying. We go almost 2 months without hardly any contact. She gave a cold reply to my short but sweet happy 3rd anniversary, I love you message. A week after her exam, Delilah apologizes for being so cold to me and explains that she has had a change of heart and wants to make things work with me. She comes up to where I was staying. Different state, near all our family, and we spend a lot of great time together. A little over a week later, one of her friends tells me that Delilah was on Tinder and has been actively trying to date and sleep with other men. She had a consistent fuck buddy starting in June, slept around with a bunch of random on Tinder, and then started an actual romantic relationship with one of her former classmates. On Monday, as we talked about our plans moving forward with the marriage, I asked Delilah repeatedly if there was anything I should know, or anything she wanted to get off her chest. She looked me square in the eyes and said no each time. I confronted her, told her that I knew, and we had long discussions about everything she did. She explained that her mental health is awful and it was a coping mechanism, and that she was going to tell me when we started counseling again. I explained that above all else, the blatant lying and deceit is a deal breaker for me. She's trying so hard to get me to do counseling and work through this. I'm absolutely heartbroken at the idea of this beautiful 10-year relationship ending, but I struggle to see a future where I can trust her again. How do you guys rebuild that trust? Is it fair to blame these actions, and the blatant lying, on mental health issues? Edit. Wow, thanks everyone for the support. I was fully planning to divorce when I first learned of this, but since then, Delilah has been doing a great job at manipulating me and making me feel pity for her mental health. Thank you all for the validation in my decision to divorce. If you were in my shoes, would you tell your SOS family or siblings about this? I'm extremely close to them and they are dying for us to stay together. I fear that they'll hate me for divorcing Delilah without knowing the truth, but I also know it'll cause serious damage to her relationships with them. Let's see some comments. Bored_an_depressed comments. Trust is already broken when she lied to you. Straight up. Leave her for your own sake and mental health. Temporary alpha comments. I so strongly agree with you. Trust is so much more important than love. I don't think love can exist without it. Whatever we call it, it isn't love. Trust can be rebuilt, but it is extremely difficult, and I don't see anything in Op's post suggesting that his wife is prepared to do the work. She's using the offer of counseling as a smokescreen to hide from what she did. The thing is, anything that makes us treat another person dishonestly demonstrates that we're responding to the image of the person in our heads, not the actual person. Op's wife was viewing Op as an object to navigate around while she saw to her own interests, not as a living, breathing person who actually loved her. I think many relationships are like this. We fall in love with the images in our head, not the people. It's way easier to betray an image than an actual person. There's nothing Op can do to fix this. He can't love harder or be more honest, because he's not the one who caused the rift. His wife is responding to being caught out in her lie, not to what she did. She needs therapy. Op needs time to deal with his anger. He's still in shock and sorrow. My sympathies to Op's self-inflicted comments. You should divorce her. Your marriage is terrible. Get out before she financially ruins you. No kids. No alimony. Just get free. OP replies, get out before she financially ruins you. You could say this again. I make a lot, $250K/year, and she only just starting her first income job at $50K/year, while also spending a lot more than me. The insane amount of money I will save once we divorce is one thing to look forward to. Maverick Wildcat comments, you are her ATM and she realizes that she can't live how she wants without you. I see no mention of kids here, and this separation looks like she wanted to test the waters and sleep around while protesting that it wasn't cheating. Get an attorney, get STD tested, and separate for real. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the notification bell as well.